So welcome back to the channel. So if you've been following me on Facebook, and if you haven't, my Facebook is Brinkley. But if you haven't been following me on Facebook, you have seen that I've had a countdown going from probably first of the year about me getting ready for retirement, and I think that countdown now is a little under 370 some days, but then it was counting right. So my goal was to retire August 1, 2023. That's been my goal from day one, and I have been driving towards that goal ever since. But now I know that there is a shortage of soldiers re-enlisting or staying in the military, and they are allowing people to stay an additional 2 years past their RCP date. All right, when I say RCP, that's a military term for this is the longest you can stay in at the current rank you are. Right now, it was my current rank as an E7. I could stay in as long as 23 years, and so August 1st makes 23 years. I didn't see myself making my sergeant, so I said, well, E8. So I said it's time for me to go ahead on and go and do better and other things. Now the Army said you can stay an additional 2 years, which has put me at 26 years, something like that. 26 years. Well, 24, 26 years, 24 years, 26, whatever. 26. Well, anyway, it's additional 2 years. So then I started thinking, like, well, maybe if I stay in an additional 2 years, finish up my degree, get looked at for E8 one more time, and PCS off the island somewhere else in Hawaii. Well, PCS from Hawaii somewhere else. And that has been my dilemma for a while, because my goal was set to retire. But then there looms this thing called a recession. It looms this thing. The recession right now is the biggest thing. Was kind of worrying me right now, because I don't want to get into the job market and then a recession hits and then people get laid off. I know what y'all about to say, but me, you about to get paid. You get a retirement. Yes, I get a retirement. I get a pretty healthy retirement. I'm not complaining about my retirement whatsoever. But at the same time, that retirement is not going to give me all the extra things I do in my life. Like, I like to go to a bar every now and then, have a couple of drinks. I like to go on a vacation every now and then, you know, and the money that I get from there is not going to be totally enough. Then I look at, that's the first part. Then on the other side of that, I look at, well, maybe if I finish up my criminal justice degree, I can be more profitable when I get out. Profitable means that I have a little bit more stuff in my suitcase, so when I do get out, I do not have to rely on 100% on the skills that the military gave me. I'm not saying I don't want to work military when I get out, but I don't want that to be my main focus. I want to get out and do something that I love. I love YouTube, but I don't think I can make it a full-time job, if that makes sense. I want to have a job. I want to have a main job on the side that will at least, you know, be able to afford to get me my, you know, my electric vehicle. I want an electric Hummer. That's what I want. That's my goal. I don't want to call it a retirement car, because that will not be a retirement car, but that will be a car that I want before I'm totally done with working, period. That's one of my goals. So I am on the fence right now about staying in for an additional 2 years, or just retiring it and gutting it out and just let, as they say, just let God take the wheel. But I've talked to people already. I've talked to, you know, 2 of my best friends already, and actually 3 of my best friends. They help, but they haven't helped. So one of them, he's in Texas right now. His big thing was, is there something more you want? And that was the question that he gave me. I forgot to call him back, but that was the question he asked. Was there something more you want out of the military? And I was like, very good question. Because my goals in the military has been met. My goal was to make it 20 years without getting kicked out. And my goal was to make it to E7, because when I came in, making it to E7 was probably one of the hardest things in the world. So that was that. So I've hit those goals. I've hit every one of those. I hit every one of those goals. Then he asked me, is there like any personal goals that you may or may not want to meet outside the military? And I was like, good question, because I have no idea. I have been in the military, when it's all said and done, for 24 years straight, and I probably have no idea what I want to do when I get out of the military whatsoever. The military has become this thing in my life that my whole life have been centered around, and I have no idea what to do with it. And I think that's what drives my decision to make it an additional 2 years. Then I called she used to be my boss. Now she's one of my mentors. She's one of my friends. I asked her about it. She like, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know. But I told her, if I do stay in, I can't continue to work the current job, aka working at a brigade that I'm currently in. It's gonna have to be something that's a little bit dialed back to where I can focus on school, but at the same time give back to the MOS and give back to the Army. Then she was like, well, what about there is a position over here for Lindenwood that is open, that's about to open, and you can give back to the MOS. And I'm like, Fort Lindenwood is rough. It's nothing there. It's nothing there. I think St. Louis is probably, 3 hours up the street. It's nothing there at all. So I'm like, I'm gonna be so bored. Then I can't go with my spouse. My spouse is currently PCSing eventually to Chicago. So I'm like, bruh. But that would be the closest duty station to where I can at least go visit when we have time off. So it's like, maybe, I don't know. So that is my dilemma. That has been one of my issues about me staying in or getting out. That is the main thing. You know, medically wise, I am in fairly decent health. I have a knee that is giving me a little bit of trouble. It's been giving me trouble for the past little bit over a year now. But I have been I have been learning to deal with it, and plus they're working on, giving me injections and things like that to make sure my knee is a little bit better. And if push come to shove, I can do a whole PT test without having any issues. I just can't run. So that will have to be like, I'll be able to do a bike or some crazy mess like that, which I don't mind, even though I like to run, but I don't mind. So that has been the biggest thing on my mind these last couple of months. Was last month since this memo came out. And I need to make a decision, and I think I'm gonna make a decision before I return back to work. So stand by for a decision. The decision should be in the next couple of days. I have to make a decision on what I want to do. My mind is probably 60% made up on what I want to do. So just stand by. If you have any advice for me, or or you think I should take another route, let me know down in the comments. And once again, if you are new to this station, please don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Share it with 2 friends. Probably share it with 2, 3, 4, 5 friends. And if you don't know, I am BCray. I did not introduce myself at the beginning of the video, but I am BCray. Welcome to the